So now I want to take you through just kind of going through the unit and making your plan. Having a plan is so important in utilizing your time effectively so that you don't waste any time and you don't make the mistake of buying a couch that won't fit in the living room. Believe me, I've done that before and it's not fun. As we, have this open space, there's nothing here, so it's like, oh gosh, I could put anything in here, which you technically can. The tape measure will be your best friend. Get a smaller one that you can just stick in your purse or your fanny pack or your pocket, whatever, and take it with you everywhere. There's many times I've forgotten my tape measure and it's done me wrong. So here in the living room, this is an open concept, which is great. It's kind of the way that a lot of people are living these days. It is a comp to a hotel room in terms of the living area and being kind of open, but it is very nice to have a full kitchen with all the appliances and then an actual separate bedroom, so that if there were two people and one wanted to work and one wanted to sleep, you would have options there. So these are all things to be thinking about, is how is your guest going to be using the space, and then making sure that you account for all of that. So if someone is here working remotely, they definitely are going to want to have a desk or a dedicated workspace. If someone is here on vacation, the sleep and the lounging ability is going to be key too. So as we are here in the living room, I'm kind of looking at the space and it feels like, oh, I've got all the space to work with. So that's why I'm going to measure. So typically in a unit like this, a couch, an average couch, you can sort on the different buying sites by size. But I would say like an 86-inch couch is nice. So if you have someone who's really tall, they can still spread out, but it's not going to overtake the entire room. So I can kind of work with that. So what I would do, you can on your phone use the measuring app as well. I'm a visual person like this, so I kind of get this in my head, and I know that the couch is going to go on this wall. So I make note of that measurement. So I utilize my phone. We all have it in our pockets, super easy. Sometimes I like to write things down, many times I do, but for this purpose, I open a note on my phone and then I put a title for each room. So living room, and then I would note the measurement for the couch. So I know I need an 86-inch couch. Typically I like to buy something that is deeper, not more narrow, so it's more comfortable for people to stretch out. So I've got my couch here. So I'm kind of keeping that in my head. Again, you could write this down. I do also, we'll go through taking pictures later, but for first we work with measurements. So I've kind of already decided that my couch is here. And then, so my TV then would go on this opposite wall here. So we have a lot of runway here. So to make this feel more stylish and in proportion, I would probably also try to mimic the length of the couch in terms of my TV console. So if I'm working with an 86-inch couch, 86 is pretty long. So typically we could say subtract about 20 inches and we're looking at something in about the 60-inch range for your TV. And then that would accommodate your 50-inch TV as well. And then everything looks very proportional. So I'm noting that also on my phone. And then I'm kind of understanding how much room in the middle I have to work with, because this will then dictate the size of my area rug. I'm not a huge rug fan for a couple of reasons. Definitely you need one in the living room if you don't have carpet, because it makes it cozier, warmer. People like, that feel on their feet. I don't really do them anywhere else unless the style really dictates it, because keeping them clean, if you have a dirty rug, it just goes terribly for your overall perception of cleanliness of the unit. It's just one more thing to take care of. So I definitely put a rug in the living room. I typically don't do it in the bedroom just because it's one more thing to keep clean. But for the style aspect, it works well in the main living area. So if I have this, if my couch is coming out about that far from the wall, and then I know my TV console is coming about right here, I'm right at about 7 feet. So I could do an either 8 by 10 or 9 by 11 rug, so that about a foot goes underneath the couch and then kind of butts right up to the TV console. So again, noting that measurement on my phone. So I've got the couch, the TV, the console, and then I also need to get a coffee table. I'm a big fan of of, you've got two square things, so I like to do something round in the center. I'm a big fan of round coffee tables. So typically a good measurement for your coffee table is about 36 inches wide. Sometimes you can go a little bit smaller. I think bigger is better just for people. A lot of people are eating in front of the TV or having a drink, or maybe they're spreading out their work materials. So a little bit more space is better. So the next thing that we always want to talk about is the workspace. So this eat-in countertop is super nice because you could sit here and work super easily. It's a wide open space, but I like to give people the option and give them a dedicated workspace. Some people really just want to keep things separate. So I've determined that if my couch is here and my TV console is over here, if I were to put something here, it would make this walkway a little crammed walking in. So I've identified that over here in this corner, if my couch is moved, say about right here, I do have some real estate over here to work with. And the thing I like about this is, let's face it, work's work, and if you're sitting staring at your computer, it's kind of nice to have something visually nice to look at, some sunshine, especially as we're hitting the winter months. So I think this would be a great little nook to put a desk. So I'm just measuring from the wall to the edge of the window, and it looks like I've got about 56 inches to work with. That's plenty for a small desk. I would probably do one that utilizes most of this width here, but I would probably go for a not as deep desk so it doesn't stick too far out. And then this way, when you're sitting here, if you're sitting here working, you've got a nice desk lamp, but then you can look out the window, get a little sunshine. You could have the TV on in the background if you want to catch up on your news, or some people like to have ambient music playing. So it just makes kind of a nice work and play living area. All right, I'm super excited for you guys to follow along with this video series. So make sure you follow this playlist, because we're gonna start and take this empty apartment and turn it into a profitable furnished rental. So make sure you click the links below for more free training, and you can follow us here on YouTube and on our school channel.